2-2 with their backs against the wall.
You know, once the foot hits the ball, the first kickoff, ball's ball.
I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure that we improve.
After a second consecutive loss, the Irish face a must-win situation.
The goal is to be the best in the country, and, you know, I don't think that's ever going to stop. Yeah, we just got to get back to playing our style of football.
The blue and gold out for redemption.
You know, there's still a lot to clean up. There's no time to feel satisfied in anything that we did.
And the first step to getting back in the win column starts today.
Got to go back to playing Notre Dame football.
It's the Fighting Irish versus the Boilermakers in the house that Rockne built.
They're going to be ready to go this Saturday.
This is ABC57 Kickoff, presented by Afdent Dental, live from the campus of Notre Dame, with your hosts, Allison Hayes and Vahid Sadrazadeh.
It is make or break for the Fighting Irish. We are live on the campus of Notre Dame, where 24th ranked Notre Dame is set to host the unranked Boilermakers in just a few hours. It is a beautiful and, shall I say, dry day here in South Bend for college football. Thank you for joining us for ABC 57 Kickoff. I'm Allison Hayes.
And I'm Vahid Sadrazadeh. Allison, we are overdue for dry weather and for a W. Whew. Both would be good today. After a second consecutive loss to start the season, Notre Dame is facing a must-win situation. If they want to have any prayer of entering the college football playoff conversation, they host unranked Purdue today. The Boilermakers, not very good the last decade and a half against Notre Dame. Notre Dame 9 straight against the Boilermakers, and they'll go for number 10 today. Allison, it is prime for Notre Dame to get a victory today, but we all know all eyes on that defense and Marcus Freeman.
Absolutely. Chris Ash, the defensive coordinator, taking a lot of heat, but head coach Marcus Freeman says after the rocky start to the season for the Irish, when it comes to getting back into the win column, it's all about consistency.
We got to become a more consistent team. And that starts with being consistent individuals. Consistency, I believe, is what wins or loses games when you have two good opponents competing against each other. The only way to become more consistent is we have to refuse to tolerate habits and a performance that isn't to the standard that we've set for our program. So, you know, it's always going to start with me and making sure that I have to always evaluate the things that I tolerate as the head coach.
That game last week was just so perplexing and so frustrating for Notre Dame fans. It was an absolutely incredible atmosphere here at Notre Dame Stadium. The Irish giving up 41 points in the house that Rockne built, coming from a defense that was in the top 5 in just about every single category they could be last season. And it's been such a complete drop-off after now 2 games.
Well, it was perplexing because of the way the game started. They had such a great play on special teams. The touchdown, they jump out to a 7-0 lead. They were up 17-7. I came down at halftime up from shooting, and I said to you, when is the last time an opponent scored 28 points at half on Notre Dame's defense? And we haven't seen it in a long time, especially here at Notre Dame. And again, the biggest takeaway from last week's contest wasn't the offense. The offense scored 34 points, really had a good outing. It was the defense and how much they struggled. ABC 57's Talia Baya has the breakdown of what's been going wrong for the Irish. Hey, Talia.
Hey, Allison and Vahid. Sorry about this. It's a chaotic game day so far. The energy is high. But anyway, the defense, like you said, has been pretty shaky this year under new defensive coordinator Chris Ash. They have allowed 68 points the last 2 games. And fans are asking, what is going on? Why isn't Notre Dame playing like Notre Dame defense? And I, as well, on the sidelines watching that, was thinking the same thing, because last year they were ranked 5th overall, and now they sit well outside in the 100th in multiple different categories.
Notre Dame's defense has been struggling to generate pressure. The Irish recorded 0 sacks against quarterback Marcel Reed, and through 2 games they have just 1 total sack and only 2 tackles for loss.
Obviously too many explosive plays, too many misassignments, so just going back in, executing the details, making sure that we understand exactly what we're supposed to do.
Reed made them pay, throwing for 360 yards while Notre Dame forced just 1 turnover.
Just got to go back to playing Notre Dame football and go back to having great fundamentals, playing with violence, and playing with relentless effort.
Tackling has also been an issue. The Irish ranked 100th out of 136 FBS teams by Pro Football Focus tackling, and those missed tackles led to explosive plays.
It's a lack of focus. We just have to focus better in the critical moments. Clarity equals velocity, and once we do that, nobody can stop us.
This allowed Texas A&M's quarterback to average more than 21 yards per completion.
Yeah, we just didn't get it done. We didn't execute our responsibilities, and that starts with me. That starts with all the leaders in the secondary, and we take accountability for that.
To add insult to the injury, the Irish will also be without their lead tackler in the first half this week. Safety Adon Schuler, who had 7 tackles against the Aggies, is sidelined due to the second half targeting call.
If I'm not on the field right now, how can I be the best leader? How can I be the vocal guy on the sideline to make sure the guys that are in the game know what they're doing so they can play with clarity and velocity?
Still, there were bright spots. Notre Dame tightened up in the red zone, holding A&M to 2 field goals that kept it close. And Leonard Moore came up with this key interception to give the Irish a chance.
Yes, so we will see today if the Irish can hold the Boilermakers to 7 points like they did last year and also keep their 7-game winning streak going. Marcus Freeman said earlier this week he will make sure that he will do anything in his power to make sure the defense stays strong. And if that includes him stepping in, he will do that. So we'll see if we can see any action from him on the sidelines today. And next up, I will be breaking down the offense, so stay tuned for that. Back to Allison and Vahid.
All right, thanks so much, Tally. I mean, there's so many question marks here, but going into today's game, it's not a pushover either, Allison. This Purdue team is much improved, and we're going to be talking about that throughout the show today.
Absolutely, but the Irish will be without one of their key players in that secondary safety, Adon Schuler. He is out for the first half. We'll have more of that coming up. Also today, we've got a nice packed show.
We do, including I catch up with Notre Dame legend and pro football player Jalen Smith. He has a new venture out called Jinya Ramen on Eddy Street. We're going to be heading to Eddy Street soon anyway, but it was nice to catch up with him.
He's always fun to catch up with. Also, we have a special day at the New Rockne Memorial Society Spirit of Sports Awards. We'll take you inside the action there, and we'll check out season tickets. Whoo, they cost you, but there are some single game tickets still available.
And the game day forecast, will it rain, will it not? Should you bring an umbrella? Should you bring a rain jacket? We don't know, but hopefully it stays dry.
All right, and John Corus, a former Notre Dame football player, honoring his late teammate. He'll be joining us next.
When we knew each other here, it was so fleeting. You know, I can think back on these moments, these big standout moments, and then he was gone, and then we had a couple fleeting moments when he was in the NFL. And then I hear this, the next time I hear about Demetrius, he's dead.
Demetrius, I was a little bit older than Demetrius when he got there on campus, but as soon as he stepped on, he was very inspirational amongst the team.
I'm completely honored to be in front of you, showing you our life's work.
He was a people person, and he could see that every piece of the puzzle needed to be put together to make it work.
I feel like I know Demetrius now more than I've ever known him, and I feel like Demetrius is a part of me. That being said, if Demetrius was here right now, it would be a much better story.
A moving tribute to former Notre Dame team captain Demetrius DuBose.
A leader on the football field. DuBose was killed on July 24th, 1999 over a misunderstanding with police in San Diego, California.
Just before the annual Blue Gold game this spring, I had the opportunity to talk with John Corus, his former teammate and friend who has dedicated the last decade of his life to waking up the echoes and honoring Demo's memory.
This is our Notre Dame captain. This is our Notre Dame All-American. What are we doing? And like other guys didn't know. I'm telling them, and they're getting upset. They're crying.
For the past 10 years, John Corus has poured over thousands of pages of evidence about the death of his friend and teammate, Demetrius DuBose.
This is a crime scene walkthrough and an interview from the homicide report.
Turning countless hours of testimony, police reports, and interviews with eyewitnesses, family, and teammates into a documentary, Demetrius DuBose, All-American.
This is his story, and it's a story of a time and a place that should be remembered forever.
Kouros grew up the son of a drama teacher and college football player turned lawyer. He turned down scholarship offers for a preferred walk-on opportunity to play football at his dream school, the University of Notre Dame, for legendary head coach Lou Holtz.
Once I got a letter from Lou Holtz. Once I got a letter from George Kelly, anyone associated with the program. Once Notre Dame was on the radar, I made it my life's mission to make sure I went there.
It was at Notre Dame where Kouros met DuBose, Demo, as he was known by friends and teammates, a relationship that would have a lasting impact on his life.
You endure this with these guys, and people like Demetrius become your brother. Demetrius looked out for me. He literally told me how to get better on the field.
And Green intercepted. Demetrius DuBose, Green to beat. DuBose, touchdown Notre Dame.
Off the field, he was really cool. 3.5 years, double major, finance and international business. He got great grades. He did really well academically, graduated early, really well loved. Everyone knew Demo at Notre Dame. He could have been the mayor of campus.
Demetrius DuBose, the All-American linebacker.
He was a leader. He was a flat-out leader. And, that was one of the coldest defenses we've had. And he was the heart and soul of it, no doubt about it.
I can't describe it. It's great just to be a part of Notre Dame, and I think really the tradition showed up today. I can't say enough about the tradition, and I'm glad I came here, and that's just the way I wanted to end it. I think I'm a part of something great.
Demetrius was the 34th overall selection by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the 1993 NFL Draft. But after 4 seasons, his professional career fell short, struggling at times with the transition to life after football. He traveled abroad, had some run-ins with the law, and experimented with recreational drugs. Eventually moving to San Diego, where he fit right in and began to pursue a new passion, beach volleyball.
It's a beach culture, it's a surfer culture, it's a volleyball culture. That's happening all the time. There's never a stranger there.
July 24th, 1999. DuBose climbed onto a neighbor's balcony to watch the sunset, entering the condo and falling asleep on the bed. The homeowner found him and called police. Despite having worked it out amicably with the homeowner, when police arrived and attempted to arrest him, Demo took off running.
They beat him with nunchucks. He's an Olympic-type athlete. He disarmed them with their nunchucks. He did. He did not swing at them. Not one witness says that he swung at them with it. In fact, Rita Yanker says he placed the nunchucks on the ground and starts walking away, and then he shot directly in the back.
Demetrius was unarmed and shot multiple times, 5 of those shots in the back. He was 28 years old.
And on the night that police shot him, officers say DuBose was fighting with 2 police officers, snatching away their nunchucks and attacking.
The officers were never criminally charged. But in May of 2000, the Citizens Review Board on Police Practices concluded while the shooting was a justified use of deadly force, the 2 officers did not exercise sufficient discretion. In February of 2003, a federal jury in a wrongful death suit found the officers to be not liable.
I was just so shocked. How did this happen to Demetrius? Why did he get shot so many times?
Kouros questions why an eyewitness account indicating that DuBose was unarmed with his back to the police did not lead to criminal charges. ABC57 investigative reporter and former New York City detective Kevin Wormhold sat down with a criminal justice expert at IU to discuss the credibility of eyewitness testimony.
Eyewitness statements are very important to a case in terms of establishing a timeline and narrative, being able to place an individual at a specific scene or event.
Now, does there need to be other eyewitness accounts that corroborate what is being told, or some sort of physical evidence?
Of course, the prosecution is going to want to have multiple ways to prove the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Also, having forensic evidence really helps.
Is there a difference in how an eyewitness statement is taken into consideration if the police are involved in a suspected incident.
I think in any case that could potentially be seen as controversial, right, eyewitness testimony becomes extremely valid. It's almost like it's elevated a little bit more.
Kouros says he will never have closure over why Demo's life ended the way it did. But he hopes his documentary will help wake up the echoes and keep Demo's memory alive.
And I feel like I'd trade me for him. I feel like if I was there with him on July 24th, I never would have let this happen. But I wasn't. I can't stand in front of the gun. I can't stand. But I can do this. This is what I can do.
On April 12th, the morning of the annual Blue Gold football game, Kouros premiered the documentary in front of former teammates, friends, and the Notre Dame community. Another step forward in the healing process.
Demetrius, my brother, my heart, it is for you.
Well, I'm going to spend the rest of my life making sure that people know the truth about Demetrius Dubose. And he's a complicated, beautiful rainbow of a human being that had flaws too. But who doesn't?
We are so happy to welcome a former Notre Dame tight end and documentarian, John Kouros, to ABC57 Kickoff. Since the last time that we saw each other, a lot has changed. A lot of progress has been happening. You're getting a lot of momentum now behind the film. Catch us up on where you're at in this process.
Sure. So, if you equate it to a ship being carried over a mountain, we're over the mountain. We've actually finished all work on the film. We were able to premiere it with the gracious hosting of the University of Notre Dame last Friday at a private screening at the Bartolo Performing Arts Center. And once again, it was unanimous. Everyone there loved it. After the showing, we got a 6-figure donation. So it is like magic is happening since we last spoke. We premiered privately The Rough Cut at the Music Box Theater in Chicago. Standing ovation afterwards, packed house, and we started getting big contributions financially then. So it's been a whirlwind tour. It's like we're in a movie within a movie, it feels like, because we've gotten married, Cecily and I, in April 26th. We got married in Chicago, and then we basically have hit the road. It's like been a bookend. We hit the road, and this time we drove across the country to Seattle with my daughter Kitty Hawk, and we were able to eulogize Jackie Dubose, Demetrius' mom, in Seattle on August 2nd.
Well, and that was the question I was going to ask you. You guys became extremely close during the filming process. She did recently pass away. How much were you able to talk to her about the documentary? How much was she able to see it? And what were the conversations that you had?
It starts 11 years ago, trying to find Jackie. And thanks to the help of my college girlfriend, actually, connected me with Jackie Dubose through a friend of hers. And it started there, and it took 2 years of meeting and talking literally every week, crying together, trying to understand what happened to Demetrius together. And then with her permission and the family's blessing, and it took a meeting with all of the family to get that, and it took 2 years really to get the family's blessing. And they asked me to eulogize Jackie, and they asked me to talk about the film in the eulogy. And that family is my family. I say that humbly. And I am just so beyond, I can't really describe what this relationship is like, but it's like having a second mother and having an extended family. The conversations we ranged from everything to like knowing about my kids and our struggles as a family, knowing all of their names. My son Lucius was able to meet Jackie face to face last March, and she wasn't in great health then, but she knew who he was right when he walked into the room. And it's surreal. It's inexplicable. It's almost like that feeling you get when you come to Notre Dame and you can't explain it. And that's the feeling I get when I go to Seattle now and when I get to be with Demetrius' family.
Well, you talked about having these showings here on campus. You've got more to come this season as well. But through these, you've had some reconnections with old teammates and friends and people here, really reconnecting with the university. And through that, you've actually been able to start a nonprofit.
Yes. So we've started Lost Dreams, which is designed to help former athletes, soldiers, and rehabilitated people who have been incarcerated, people that have been deemed fit to return to society. We have a location, a farm, where we're going to put people to work. And then in addition to this foundation, we have a collective former Notre Dame football players, anyone that played pre-NIL. This is a no questions asked emergency fund. We anticipate with the groundswell of momentum we have with the film that anyone that played at Notre Dame prior to 2021 will get a couple $1,000. No questions asked. Have a treat, donate it, do what you want. But those guys helped build this stadium that Rockne built. We helped build the additions to the stadium and everything you see here. And I believe that it's time and we're going to fill a gap. That Land is doing great work at Notre Dame. Holtz's Heroes is doing great work. We can just be grimy. We can be on the ground, just no questions asked. We're going to help you. And we're there just to fill gaps. And with the blessing of the university, with the blessing of Land, with the blessing of Holtz's Heroes, and just having been welcomed into the fold, we feel immensely, eternally grateful. It's like, really, my commencement was Blue Gold game when we showed the film. And now here I am. I really feel like finally I'm this Notre Dame man who's ready to take on the world. Yeah, maybe I'm 51 years old, but better late than never.
Absolutely. Your passion it's culpable. You can feel it. And it's just the work that you put into this documentary is beautiful and powerful. So thank you for sharing Demo's story with the world. And, tell us, when is the next time that it's going to be on campus for folks if they'd like to come and see it?
Yeah, and this is really exciting. It's going to be November 9th at 7 p.m. the DeBartolo Performing Arts Center. It's a private screening. We're going to be, and so you can get an invite if you contact me, but we're going to be showing it with a film class at the University of Notre Dame. It's going to be integrated into the curriculum. That is thrilling, and I know Demetrius would be head over heels about that.
Well, for more information about the documentary, about how you can watch the documentary, Demetrius Dubose All-American, you can go to our website. We'll have a link there at ABC57.com.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's game day at Judy's, one of Michiana's premier boutiques, and they'll have you looking your best so you can tailgate like a champion. Judy's is known for its high-end fashion. They've also got you covered for your relaxed weekend looks as well. And don't forget about their beautiful jewelry and accessory selection. On this week's Tailgate Traditions, let's take a look at what Judy's has to offer.
Kim is wearing a navy button front dress with the Kelly green trim. The waist tie belt highlights the figure, perfect for strolling into the stadium or heading out after the win. And another look for Kim, ideal for tailgates, a navy and green plaid shirt dress with gold button accents and utility chest pockets. The A-line cut keeps it flirty and fun. Here's a look that transitions from kickoff to dinner effortlessly. Slim fit plaid pants tailored to perfection, paired with a crisp blouse and topped with the Alishan cashmere topper. This navy leather jacket adds instant cool to any game day outfit. Paired with the Liverpool denim and a knit V-neck sweater, it's a modern urban twist on sideline style. Perfect for pregame cocktails or an evening watch party. Perfect for warm weather tailgates or casual cheering, Kim is wearing classic navy tailored shorts paired with a gold button down. This look is all about comfort without sacrificing style. A structured white blouse with a playful 3/4 balloon sleeve from Revell, topped with an Alishan cashmere travel wrap. A green crystal gold ring, French candy gold bracelets, and necklace completes this polished game day statement. Larissa is wearing a gold button down, topped with the Eco Suede wrap, both by Revell. She's also wearing the Eco Leather wide leg pants, keeping the silhouette clean and elegant. This cozy chic look features an antique gold and cream color block sweater paired with Lissé navy joggers. Finished with a statement gold bracelet, this look is elevated casual at its best.
Whether it's game day, a formal event, or a date night out, visit Judy's at 1205 East University Drive in Granger or on their website at judys.com.
You know, Vahid, the best thing about Judy's is just the wide variety that they have, whether you're going to a super formal event or just wanting to look your best on game day without it being so Notre Dame forward. You know, some women like to come and it's more like, I like to wear the colors, but I don't, and everything doesn't have to say Irish on it. So it kind of gives that nice balance there. And it's also really cool because it's all ages. You can be in your 20s, you can be in your 80s, and you can find something that works for you there.
I love Judy's, and they're so kind there. When you walk in, they're just so friendly. So check them out if you get a chance. And let's check out our game day forecast. Emmett Toomey joins us, meteorologist with ABC57 News. Emmett, I think the big question on everybody's mind, my friend, will it rain?
All right, Vahid Allison, good morning. Will it rain? That is the question. Well, earlier this morning, we were kind of flirting with it. I was driving on 8094. There was a little bit of lightning, and I was like, okay, I was getting ready for a rinse and repeat. Luckily, it looks like that cold front stalled up a little bit, and we did not see rain this morning. Now, will we see rain for the Purdue game? That's still a little bit TBD. Everything in the middle of the day looks pretty quiet so far. But in case you missed it, let's look at the Purdue game from last week where Purdue took on USC. I just want to show you some of the clips we got here, courtesy of CBS. Where all that lightning, all that rain, multiple severe thunderstorms through Tippecanoe County in Purdue. Man, oh man, it was a soaker. 900 strikes of lightning, 1.25 inches of rain fell. That game was supposed to kick off for them at around 3:30. It didn't kick off until 6:45. Remarkably wet. Now, is that going to be the case here today? Absolutely not. There is rain in the forecast, but it doesn't look to be nearly as substantial as what Purdue saw last week. Let's talk a little bit, though, about Notre Dame. How do they perform in the wet weather? Well, we've had 2 wet games so far this year, and unfortunately 0-2. But Notre Dame, consistent success against Purdue, especially in the rain. Let's look back on last season, though. The wettest kickoffs last season, that is with Louisville. Actually, Louisville was the one that had the wettest kickoff there. A reminder, that was back here home. But you also had a trace in Florida State. You had Indiana, of course. You had a rain and snow. I don't think anybody will forget that with how cold it was. Now, since 2007, Purdue against Notre Dame. Notre Dame and the Fighting Irish are 5-1 against Purdue going back to 2007. So the Irish, considerable success in the wet weather. And now I think today, most likely, we're going to be dealing with dry, sunny weather. It's going to feel a little bit summer-like, still warm in the low 80s. Temperatures are going to be about 5 to 6 degrees above average by kickoff time there. So you can deal with the short sleeves to start. I would bring an extra layer, though. Now, we'll have a look at your full game day forecast coming up here in the next hour of ABC 57 Kickoff. But for now, live from Eddy Street, I'm meteorologist Emmett Toomey, ABC 57 News.
You know, every year the journey's different, every season, and this is no different, right? And so my job is to make sure that this team is heading in the right direction, and the only way to ensure that is we got to continue to find the right answers and practice our plans in a way that ensures we improve and continuously be a more consistent team. Barry Odom gets his players to play extremely hard, confident, and it's a belief in their head coach, and it's something they've instilled in their culture.
Well, this certainly is not the same Purdue team that we saw last season, a team that went 1-11 overall. The Boilermakers this year are 2-1. They've already surpassed that win total and put up a fight against USC last week under the direction of new head coach Barry Odom.
They do have some playmakers this year. Odom comes to West Lafayette by way of Nevada, where he led the Rebels to back-to-back Mountain West championship games. Now Odom brings his Boilermakers to Notre Dame Stadium, where he says they appreciate the history, but they certainly can't get caught up in it.
Obviously, you look at the history of college football and the success that they've had. Much respect for that. And but as far as getting caught up in any of those traditions, for us, and again, great respect for them. They got great players, great coaches. But our job and opportunities to create winning football start with our habits, and then we step in and for 4 hours on Saturday afternoon, go play our best ball.
A little later on in the show, we're going to have the radio color analyst for the Boilermakers join us to talk a little bit more about the difference that Barry Odom has made since stepping foot on campus. He brought in a ton of transfers, and it's already paying off, and they're just 3 games in.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how much prices are today as well. Notre Dame selling a record number of tickets for football this season.
That's right. And if you're looking to get your hands on some, well, they're sold out. And so are most single ticket games as well.
And with the prices going up against Texas A&M, one of the biggest games of the season, ABC 57's Brianna Clark has a look at how we got here.
Getting season tickets to Notre Dame football games has never been a simple task. For decades, access was largely restricted to alumni and select groups. Then a shift for the 2007 season, the university making 5,000 additional season tickets available to anyone who wants them. The online application for these tickets, a $50 non-refundable fee. That same year, Notre Dame added an annual ticket rights fee, layered on top of face value. The real moneymaker to help fund repairs at the stadium, according to a 2006 article in Notre Dame magazine. The fee, based on seat location, $2,000 per ticket for sideline seats, $1,500 for corner seats, and $1,250 for end zone seats. In 2013, Forbes ranked Notre Dame #1 in the nation for the college with the most expensive average home game football ticket at nearly $294, a more than 43% increase compared to tickets listed on the resale market in 2012. 2017, the $400 million Campus Crossroads project reshapes Notre Dame Stadium with amenities like club and premium seating. That season, the university introducing tiered ticket pricing for home games, creating, quote, greater access and affordability for many fans while increasing prices for the most desirable seats. Tickets ranging from $45 to $250, depending on the location and opponent. According to the school, season ticket holders now required to give an annual gift, depending on where they sit. In 2021, Notre Dame transitioned to mobile ticketing, making it easier for fans to buy, sell, and transfer tickets. Today, Fighting Irish football season tickets sold out for 2025.
It's no secret, it's pricey.
Our own Julianne Grohowski breaking down those numbers for us back in the spring.
Here's how it works. A fan would pay a deposit of $505 for every seat they wish to reserve. That deposit reserves their stadium seats and is counted toward the total cost of their tickets. For example, to reserve two $1,200 seats, a fan would pay $1,010 up front and the remaining $1,390 later. With 7 home games, that $1,200 cost equals out to about $171 per ticket a game, which is actually under the average price for tickets this season.
Season tickets also come with benefits, including priority access to home playoff games, a chance to request away and bowl game tickets, along with complimentary parking near Notre Dame Stadium. For ABC57 Kickoff, I'm Brianna Clark.
I mean, like, the market is there for Notre Dame fans, but again, like, in the offseason, I feel like, you know, for the first time ever, my family purchased season tickets, and I feel like, you know, we weren't expecting that little bit of bump from the initial, sales of it. But again, you do get some things with that. Postseason playoff hopes, perhaps, and some other games, but you guys have been season ticket holders for a long time too.
20 years.
Yeah.
And you've seen the now it's a membership fee.
Right, membership fee.
A lot of friends that I have out here in the tailgates today, they actually purchased season tickets for the first time this year because they just wanted to have the chance of getting into that lottery for the postseason, for those playoffs. And that's still not a guarantee as a season ticket holder that you will get a ticket for the playoff games, but at least gives you a chance.
And I checked the markets today, about $150 was the average for the price against Purdue today. So we can only imagine what they were last week against Texas A&M. The stadium will be absolutely packed all season long. You can 100% bet on that. Another place Fighting Irish fans will flock on game day is Eddy Street Commons. We sit down with Notre Dame legend Jalen Smith and talk about his new venture, serving up delicious ramen on game days. Next on ABC 57 Kickoff. Here with Notre Dame legend and NFL linebacker Jalen Smith. Man, in a million years, hey, good to see you. In a million years, could you see yourself back here in South Bend doing this?
It's really a dream come true, man. I never wanted to be remembered as just being a great football player. I've always had entrepreneurial desires. South Bend, Notre Dame is so dear to my heart, and I was just like, man, I'm going to bring something back to Notre Dame one day.
How did you get the idea, hey, this is the right fit for me, yes, and Eddy Street and South Bend is the right place?
Eddy Street, I always knew was the right place. It was just about having the right location. From a standpoint of getting involved in Jinya Ramen Bar, I met Jim Wang, who is the #1 franchisee. Anything I do in business, I like to partner with experts. Well, Jim is the expert, and I'm learning from him, but also being able to mitigate the risk because, you know, you're partnering with somebody who knows what they're doing. Everybody loves soup when it's cold, and it gets cold here in South Bend, Indiana, if you don't know. You know, I just wanted to be able to have something that is new, is a little bit different from a cultural standpoint. The food is second to none. The spicy chicken ramen. The Brussels sprouts are delicious. Crispy chicken that we have is delicious. We're vegan friendly, pescatarian friendly. If you're a pork lover, we got that for you too. I'm in year 10, and I have an incredible team around me that helps me run my businesses, help me focus, and make sure everything's locked in so I can focus on the main thing, which is my 10th season as a professional athlete.
Jalen Smith joining us here on ABC 57 Kickoff. He is one of my all-time favorite guests. Like, so energetic, so just loving life right now in his 10th season in the NFL. Had a shot with the Raiders, and then he was back here last week, obviously, for the start of the season. But it was so good to catch up with him. And Jinya is awesome, by the way.
It's funny that you said that because I literally was going to say the exact same thing, that he's one of my all-time favorite Notre Dame football players that we've ever had the chance to interview and have him on the show. He's just such an inspiration. He went through so much. He has made Fort Wayne proud, of course, an Indiana native, and really, really great to see him now life after football. He had an incredible NFL career. Just the numbers, because I love the numbers. 11 sacks, 6 forced fumbles, 2 interceptions, 21 pass deflections. Dude was an absolute beast and monster at Notre Dame and in the NFL.
And how's this for a number? We were chatting a little bit about Jinya and some of the economic, numbers that they could take advantage of. The bookstore alone per year, $8 million in sales. So imagine how many people they get to Eddy Street every single year. They're trying to take advantage of some of those numbers. Eddy Street has become such a popular place to go before game day and on game weeks. We see it. And now Barrio opens up. You've got Crack Boba. I may have been there a time or two. That opens up. But if you haven't been to Jinya, maybe go say hi to Jalen and get some ramen.
Absolutely. Awesome. Great job on that. It made me hungry. Stick around. We have more to come, including a special look inside the Newt Rockne Memorial Society Spirit of Sports Awards. Jim, Executive Director of the Newt Rockne Memorial Society, to put on this event every year. Why do you put on this event, and how do these honorees really exude what this event is all about?
Well, it's all to honor the life and memory of Coach Rockne, of course. And we do that by giving out the Rockne Awards, each with its own individual name and purpose. So for this year, we have the Inspirational Award to Dr. Bill Hurd, who's this just fabulous, multi-talented former Notre Dame athlete turned doctor, humanitarian.
He found his true passion in helping others. He was a renowned ophthalmologist and philanthropist.
Hannah Storm, or leadership for Coach Jeff Jackson, and then living legend for Coach Digger Phelps. So each one has its own touch and represents something that relates to the greatness of Newt Rockne.
We welcome Jeff Jackson. Thank you for your contributions, and come on up here.
I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here with you today, and I respect so much for what Rockne represented, and it's that much more of an honor to have my name attached to this award.
And I want to thank Jim and the Rockne Society for not only giving this wonderful tribute to my grandfather, but also to help keep his legacy alive.
But these people are so special because they're part of my life. And obviously what Notre Dame is, it's been a big part of my life. When you look at what's out there and how we all are, just don't look at the winners of these awards. Look at yourself and say, you know, you can make a difference.
It's a significant honor. I am very humbled to want to be mentioned in the same breath as Knute Rockne. And I'm extremely humbled because you never work to set my eye on achieving certain accolades. And when you put your head down and just take care of what's important in front of you right now, things like that happen. And so I'm extremely blessed that God has wired me in a way to work in the capacity that I have and to allow me to do things in life that have been life-giving.
This was my fourth time and third straight season hosting this event, and Jim Lefebvre and Mike Need do an absolutely incredible job really capturing the spirit of Knute Rockne.
What they've built, I mean, you and I have been a part of it for years now, and what they've built there and who they've brought out is just incredible. Bryant Young, you had a chance to talk to legendary coach Digger Phelps, just a great host of people yesterday and every year.
Yes, Digger, you mentioned, he got really emotional during the video that they played. Not only did it include some of your special story you did on him a few years ago as an artist and philanthropist, but it also had several former coaches, ESPN broadcasters, former players sharing their love for him. So it was cool to see him get really choked up. And Dr. Bill Hurd, a former Irish football player and record-setting track athlete, he is also an incredible musician. And he told me the next time he's here in town for a game, he's going to join us here and play his saxophone live on ABC57.
I don't know if you remember Kristen Sheehan. She and
yes,
her
she was there.
She was there, and she was honored back in 2020, 2019. I can't exactly remember the year, but a few years ago in downtown South Bend, and she had to play like a champion today. They're doing nonprofit organization work with kids. And she said to me going in, she said, you know what, it's such a special event. And I love going different places every year because they're exemplifying what South Bend is. You know, went to the History Center. You guys were at the History Center yesterday in Studebaker, and years prior it's been different places. So just what South Bend is, the history of it, and just showing people what it is and what it can be.
Absolutely. And shout out to the History Museum. They have an incredible Knute Rockne exhibit there right now.
It's really cool.
Go and check it out because it really, truly gives you a feel of what he meant to Notre Dame, to South Bend, and our community. Well, time now to check in with the Irish injury report. Safety and captain Adon Schuler is not injured, but he will miss the first half of today's game after that targeting call on him last week. Tay Johnson will be making his first career start in Adon's place.
The Irish could also be without star cornerback Leonard Moore. He has an ankle injury. We don't know how major that is. Would be a very significant loss, though, if they were without Leonard Moore and without the aforementioned Schuler in the first half. Devontae Smith is also questionable today, but sounding like he is going to be able to go. He, if you remember, missed last week's game. He tried to give it a go in warm-ups against the Aggies. The coaching staff decided to pull him and sit him out. The Irish secondary is going to be thin, and I hate to say that this week, Allison, because they didn't necessarily play that well last week against Texas A&M.
No, and special teams could also take a bit of a hit here. Kicker Noah Burnett is also listed as questionable. He is battling a hip injury, so that could open the door for either Eric Schmidt or Marcelo Diomede to get an opportunity against the Boilermakers. So far this season, Burnett is 3 for 3 with his longest, a 39-yarder.
And how about Tay Johnson making his first start? What a scoop and score he had for a touchdown to start the game last season. That punt block was incredible. This place was going nuts. And then downhill from there. But it'll be interesting to see. Again, I'll tell you this, as a Packers fan for years, we were like, oh, an easy win against the Lions, an easy win against the Lions. And all of a sudden, the Lions got better.
Right.
And it wasn't necessarily an easy win against the Lions anymore. And I feel like Purdue is building that kind of culture. So Notre Dame has some real estate in front of them, but man, they got to play some good defense.
Yeah, you cannot underestimate Purdue, and I do not think Marcus Freeman is going to allow his players to overlook them. You can't when you're 0-2 on the season.
Well, it's a great day for Fighting Irish football. We'll be right back with a look at the forecast and a lot more to come here on Saturday Kickoff.
Fight, 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 fight. Sacrifice, unselfish sacrifice. We're going to get them on a run. We're going to go, go, go. And we aren't going to stop until we go to that goal line. We are Notre Dame.
Get on the bus. Next stop, Notre Dame Stadium.
From the house that Rockne built to the dynasty of Air Parsegian, this is the home of Fighting Irish football.
The place where greatness is earned 1 yard at a time. The field that forged Notre Dame legends like Theismann, Montana, and Brown.
The land of never quit, never surrender. The legacy, the passion, the tradition. That is Notre Dame football.
ABC57 Kickoff is back.
Bigger and better
than ever. You're watching ABC57 Kickoff, presented by Afdent Dental, live from the campus of Notre Dame, with your hosts, Allison Hayes and Vahid Sadrazadeh.
Well, do you remember the 20th day of September? It is a gorgeous day for football here on the campus of Notre Dame. You're taking a live look at Eddy Street, and the crowd is out and about, getting ready to see a Notre Dame win. They take on the Purdue Boilermakers today in the house that Rockne built. It is a 3:30 start at Notre Dame Stadium. Hello and welcome to ABC 57 Kickoff. I'm Vahid Sadrazadeh.
And I'm Allison Hayes. It is just beautiful out here, and it is a perfect day for Notre Dame to get the train back on the track, if you will, Boilermakers. You might see Purdue on the schedule and circle it as an automatic W for the Irish, but this year's Boilermakers are putting up some serious numbers on offense, scoring 27 points per game and passing for more than 300 yards against USC last week. Notre Dame head coach Marcus Freeman knows it's not going to be easy to earn their first win of the season.
Yeah, I think at first we've had to come up with our plan in terms of what we think we can do with the guys that we're playing with that can prevent this offense from having success. And that's where it starts. And then you got to make sure that the players that you're going to play with understand the expectations, understand the scheme, and how you plan on defending this offense. You have to get your players to understand exactly what you want them to do and then get them to do it at a high level.
Purdue's offense not messing around.
No.
They are putting up some serious numbers. Now, the run game is definitely the weakness, and that is an opportunity, I think, for this Notre Dame defense to be able to really shut them down. Well under 100 yards against USC last week. But Ryan Brown, the quarterback, he has been playing lights out. Another spot, though, for them. He threw 3 interceptions against USC, 5 total on the season. He's been sacked 3 times against USC as well. So those are some opportunities there between the run game, between some picking apart the offense when he's passing it downfield, and, of course, getting some pressure. That's something we want to see, pressure on the quarterback.
I was about to say that. I mean, we've got no pressure on any quarterback all season long, and that has to change if you're Notre Dame. Listen, even if you make it to the playoffs, we all know those teams in the playoffs get pressure on quarterbacks, and they can run and throw the ball. Complete teams, we've got to get pressure on the quarterback. And we've talked about the struggles here all game, and we'll continue to talk about them under defensive coordinator Chris Ash. But on the flip side, the offense has seen some flashes.
Yeah, absolutely. Quarterback C.J. Carr settling in, and a couple of new playmakers are starting to step up. ABC 57's Talia Baya joins us now with a closer look at what is clicking and what still needs work heading into today's game. Hey, Talia.
Hey, yes, like you said, we cannot stress enough how different the defense is looking compared to last year, and it has really been a huge talking point this year. But there is a bright spot, the offense. They scored 40 points against Texas A&M. And, you know, usually that results in a win, but clearly without a balanced defense, it is nearly impossible to walk away with the win. But Freeman has said they have been extremely intentional in practice all week and not letting the outcome distract them from the reality of what this program really is.
Looking that way, firing for Fields along the sideline, goes up and he brings it in. Oh, what a catch by Malachi Fields.
Notre Dame's offense put up big points against Texas A&M. And while the defense continued to regress, the offensive side of the ball made the most improvements from the last time the Irish took the field in Miami. A large part of that is thanks to C.J. Carr's big 2 targets on the outside.
Ball is ball.
One of his top weapons, Virginia transfer Malachi Fields. At 6'4", 222 pounds, he hauled in 8 catches for 125 yards against the Aggies, including several against star corner Will Lee.
When we see man covers one-on-one, we just think it's me and him out there. You know, we just got to go make a play.
We got to give him a chance at the ball. He's a big body. When he gets in one-on-one coverage, we just got to put the ball in his vicinity. Something good's going to happen.
And Fields isn't alone. Tight end Eli Reardon has emerged as the other home run threat. Through 2 games, he has 9 catches for 182 yards, averaging over 20 yards per reception.
I think we're an explosive unit. We got playmakers all over the field. Malachi, Jaden Greathouse, Will Pauling.
Despite these gaudy numbers, the group still has the potential for more. According to game analytics and multiple outlets, including The Athletic, Carr's pre-snap stance tipped the play. When his feet were parallel, it was usually a run. When staggered, it was almost always a pass. On 58 of 64 snaps, Carr's stance gave away the following play. That kind of predictability allowed A&M to anticipate, shift, and challenge the Irish attack.
It's been addressed, and we're good.
Even with those issues, Carr still threw for nearly 300 yards and 1 touchdown.
He's taking charge. He's a leader. He's commanding the offense. He's vocal. He's the guy.
With a young quarterback, a rising star in Fields, and steady hands with Reardon, Notre Dame's offense has the potential and playmakers to present major headaches for opposing defenses.
We got to come together, love each other, and work even harder.
And at least while the defense is figuring it out, the Irish offense is keeping them in games. And once again, don't forget about Malachi Fields. Keep an eye on him tonight. I think he will have a big game because Freeman all week said he is coming to work every day and grinding, working his tail off. So we'll see if they can repeat a close to 60-point victory like they did a year ago against Purdue. But up next, I'll be doing Talia's Take, my favorite thing in the world, social media. So you want to miss that. But for now, reporting from the campus of Notre Dame, I'm Talia Baya, ABC57 News.
Thanks so much, Talia. And speaking of social media, one of the big things that people were talking about this week, and she kind of touched on it there in her story, is C.J. Carr tipping plays on offense.
Based on his stance, Pete Sampson from The Athletic, he tweeted that during the game and then went through and checked 58 out of 64 times the way that C.J. Carr is standing, whether it's straight and parallel or if it's staggered,
offset, right,
gives away whether it's going to be a run play or a passing play. And this week, Gino Guidugli was asked about that in his press conference, and he very shortly just said, we're aware of it, we're taking care of it.
Yeah, and I think C.J. knows. He knows that he has some things to work on. Listen, this is his 3rd start. His first 2 starts, Texas A&M at home, and Miami on the road. You got to get that first win under your belt, and things will start going in the right direction.
And if you look back at the Miami game, CJ was not doing that so much in that game. Right. It was really against Texas A&M. Some of those old habits, you can kind of fall into that in the moment. Now he is aware of it. Hopefully he's not hyper aware of it and overthinking it, because that could be an issue as well. But I think we'll see an improved stance, at least for this game.
Hey, Mike Denbrock, if I'm talking to him last night, don't run the Wildcat. Just hand the ball off to your dudes in the backfield and just let them run wild. This is my advice. What do I know, though?
Absolutely. Well, hey, coming up in our next hour here of ABC57 Kickoff, we got a great show, more in store. Marcus Freeman's Focus. We've got Ask the Experts with a College Football Hall of Fame Purdue quarterback joining us live.
Do you need to bring the umbrella today or a rain jacket? We'll check in with Emmett Toomey for your game day forecast. Tailgate traditions. We will check in on a new whiskey being offered by Round Barn. And guess who is in the house today? Chris Zorich, Notre Dame legend. We had a chance to go a little house hunting with him.
Yeah, that's right. He's going to take us on the grand tour of his mini Clovers, and he's going to talk Notre Dame defense when we come back.
Hello, Allison. Welcome to the Mini Clover. This is a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, about 1,300 square feet. It's a lot bigger than our first one.
When you walk in here, you really kind of get a glimpse into what being a football player, as Chris Zorich was like, and to be a national champion and a NFL football player with the Chicago Bears, and to walk in here and just see all this memorabilia.
Each guest will get an awesome bottle of the Teeling Small Batch Special Edition Notre Dame bottle.
This is one of the goodies, one of the gifts, and you autograph this and personalize it for them?
Yes. It's the whole idea is you're supposed to be Chris Zorich when you put your head in there.
Put me in, Coach. I'm ready to play.
As you're leaving, you have to slap it.
Does that bring you back?
Yes, it does, actually. Yes, it does. Our favorite part of the new Mini Clover is the backyard.
Wow.
This is awesome. We have a pergola. We have some great chairs. We got a grill for folks to grill on. And then we also have AstroTurf. Now, this is a new kind of addition for us where basically we wanted to find somewhere we don't have to cut the grass.
Low maintenance. But it looks nice and green.
Right. At night, we have a fire pit here, kind of hang out, and play music and stuff like that.
Oh, shoot. He's on the board.
So I've been practicing.
Yes!
For the game. Oh, my God.
Woohoo! Yes!
Once again, you smoked me. See, this is what happens when you beat Chris Zorich in a game of bags at his house.
Now that we got to get the full experience here at the Mini Clover 2.0, let's head over to the next property, because you not only have the 2.0, but you actually have 2 properties to check out.
Yes, but thank God we don't have bags there, so you can smoke me again.
But I hear you might have a pool.
That we do have.
All right, we're at your second property. Let's take a look.
This is very exciting for us. So this is something that we've been able to kind of offer folks who have maybe a smaller party, as opposed to the other place, which is we could sleep 8.
So maybe they don't need a full house and they can come here.
Yeah, which is a great option for folks. Welcome to the Mini Clover condo. At the end of the day, we're able to come out with a place that is really a great location to Notre Dame, but also has some interesting amenities like free breakfast, but also more importantly, we're actually poolside as well. So that's going to be fun for some guests.
It's personalized and it feels like Notre Dame in here.
It's allowing the guests to experience something different when they have a chance to come to Notre Dame. Our guests get all of this. We're very excited this year. We have some great gifts from Dick's Sporting Goods. We also have some great gifts. We have an awesome bottle of whiskey from Teeling. Literally, I'm gonna spend an hour with them, kind of hanging out, taking pictures, signing all this stuff if they want me to. I want to leave the impression that anybody who's a sports fan or a fan of anything, you really kind of understand if they have a chance to meet their idol, like what that feels like. This is a letter saying, hey, welcome to the Chicago Bears. Not too many people have seen a letter like this. We actually call this the poolside room because we're poolside, which is awesome.
So you got a little patio area out here. Enjoy the sunshine
and
head to the pool.
And now you've seen my 2 Mini Clovers in South Bend. We'd love to have you as guests. Check out theminiclover.com. That's theminiclover.com.
All right, I think it's football season, right?
I'm excited.
Let's
I hope
go.
you are.
Irish, let's go.
Go Irish.
Well, joining us now, the man himself, Chris Zorich, the Irish legend, the Chicago Bears legend. But, you know, as good as you were on that football field, I got to say, I think you need a little work at your cornhole game, because I am officially 2-0 against you, my man.
How is that? How is that? That's amazing. That's amazing.
My skills. You got skills on the football field, though. Let's take a look back a little bit at Chris, just so you guys remember what an absolute monster this man was for the Irish on the playing field. All-American linebacker, National Lineman of the Year, Lombardi Trophy winner. And Marcus Freeman recently said if he could bring back any former player to be on this defense, it would be Chris Zorich. What did that mean to you when he said that?
I'm still speechless. I mean, hearing something like that from the current Notre Dame coach not only means so much to me, but really kind of the legacy that we had back in '88. I was just really honored, and I felt like I was 19 again. So it was an amazing experience.
You were texting us like, oh my gosh, you guys, this is amazing.
It like literally, it was like, I was like, oh my God. I was texting everybody, and I was like, who else do I know? Who else I know? Because it's not like that's something that everybody says, because he had a couple other legends. Tim Brown, Jerome Bettis, Ross Browner, it's like a guy named Joe Montana. I mean, come on, there's like a list of like 1,000 people.
Freeman's favorite, Lou Holtz's favorite. We saw you have a picture with Lou Holtz, that you posted on social media as well. Talk about this, though. When we were on the tour together at the house, I asked you a specific question about Notre Dame, right? I think the kids of today, and Marcus Freeman said it too, that they don't really understand what the lore and the history of Notre Dame football is and the school itself. And you had a surprising answer when I said, oh, Notre Dame was on the top of the list. You knew all about Notre Dame, right?
Yes. For those who might not know, I actually grew up like 90 miles from South Bend, Indiana. I did not know that at the time. So when the recruiting coach came to my high school, which again is also a mile from my house. So now we're literally talking like 89 miles from South Bend. He asked me, hey, how would you like to come to Notre Dame? And my actual answer was, sir, I would love to, but my mom doesn't like to fly. And again, 89 miles, right? So he's like, what do you mean your mom doesn't like to fly? And I said, well, there's no way my mom would fly to France to see me play. Honest to goodness.
Notre Dame.
Well, see, he looked at me, and I'm sure he was like, "What? Wait, do we got the right kid?"
Right.
I mean, like, who? Everybody knows about Notre Dame, but unfortunately, I grew up in an area where a lot of kids didn't go to college. Actually, no one went to college, and so college was never a conversation in my household or in our neighborhood. So I never knew about Notre Dame, University of Illinois, University of Chicago, nothing. So when they came a calling, I had no idea. So they left some information, and I was sold.
What an incredible opportunity that turned into for you for the rest of your entire life.
I owe my life to University of Notre Dame.
Well, let's talk about this current Notre Dame defense, Marcus Freeman. I don't know if you want to be critical now since you're his favorite guy.
Hey, you're my favorite guys because I tell the truth.
Well, hey, that's true. Let's talk about the defense right now and the struggles they're having. Really, last season it was top 5 in every single category. This season, 100 and below in every category. 1 sack, 4 tackles for loss. How do they turn that around?
Well, first thing is that you don't fire the defensive coordinator, which is what everybody wants to do. And everybody's talking about, well, hey, Marcus Freeman was the defensive coordinator. Why doesn't he just take over
Call
the reins?
plays and
And it's like, oh, by the way, he's the head coach. So now that's his responsibility, right? So what he does in practice, and I had a chance to attend some of the practices, he's spending time on the defensive side, but he's also spending time on the offensive side as well. So let's all remember Al Golden's first couple games, which we tend to forget.
I don't remember at all.
Many moons ago, we were trying to get him fired too. So let's understand this is going to take a process. And, yes, we had a lot of success last year, and that's what people are excited about. But it takes time when you have coaching changes, and you have a coaching change because we played in the Natty. Had we not played the Natty, Al Golden would be here, and we wouldn't be talking about a bad defense.
Even with Marcus Freeman, when he was defensive coordinator the first couple of games, people were questioning him and complaining about some of the things on defense end. Exactly. So all of that kind of comes full circle. As basic, though, as it sounds, tackling, that is a fundamental, and it has been a real issue for Notre Dame. 21 missed tackles so far in these first 2 games. And I just wondered, what does that look like to demonstrate? We're moving ahead a little bit here, but
you're not talking about me putting me up for
sacrifice my man.
My God. Oh, we have turf.
Yes,
oh my gosh.
I want to sacrifice.
Do you know I didn't bring a helmet? I didn't bring pads. I'm 5'6" and 3/4 on a good day. All right. I will be tribute for today's demonstration here.
And we also need to, do we have a football just to kind of...
I don't know if we have a football.
Actually, we don't want
Do we have a
because
football?
I might have a reaction.
All right.
However, so the problem that we're seeing, everybody wants to be a big time
So
player.
hold on. Let's go down here and
Well, I was
into
trying
the...
to explain why I'm going to tackle you standing on the ground first before you go unconscious.
Sure.
So I just want to let everybody know
Unconscious?
that.
He said unconscious.
So, unfortunately, everybody wants to make a big play. And oftentimes, when people make big plays, it's an immediate impact. Someone gets hit, they fly back. Unfortunately, you don't teach that during practice. That's not fundamentals. Fundamentals is hitting somebody, wrapping them up, putting your head on this side. If he has the ball on this side, you want to put your head over here, not over here, and you don't want to just hit him. We're trying to be a star when we need to be tackling first. So what you're supposed to do is put your head on the right side, wrap up, make sure you have the ball carrier, and then you could celebrate.
And really quickly, let's go into the stance. You're the defensive lineman, right? Got to get around the offensive line. How do you do that? Explain it. Here we go on 3. Hut.
I'm really old now.
Hut. Omaha. I'm going to call in my offensive lineman, though. I'm going to call in my offensive lineman.
This is even better. All right. So
how do you get through the double team? Hut. All
right. Well, time out. I'm going to bring in my reinforcement here. All right. So now we're ready. All right. Go ahead, Mr. Quarterback.
On 3. Hut. Hike.
There we go. And she's going to make a play. See?
So it's instead of being a star first, it's tackling, it's getting through the line.
It's taking your responsibilities. And unfortunately, we're of this age that everybody wants to be on a highlight film for ESPN, and they forget that they actually have responsibilities for the team first.
I'm going to take my 2 linemen in the next draft.
I don't know. I'm going with her. I'm sorry. I'm going with her.
You're watching ABC 57 Kickoff. Thanks so much,
Absolutely.
Chris.
Thank you, man.
We'll be right back.
Well, welcome back to ABC 57 Kickoff. We are here now with Round Barn Winery and Distillery. Oh, yes, we've been waiting for this
all year. 365 days for this, actually.
We've got Jen Wozniak, the marketing director, and Nicole Brown, the creative director. And, we're so used to wine when we talk Round Barn, but this is very different today. We've got some margaritas. We've got some bourbons here. What do we got?
All right, so we're not going too far because our new ready-to-drink margaritas are actually wine-based.
Okay.
Yeah, so we are a winery. We have many vineyards. We grow a lot of grapes. So these are actually made with a Riesling base.
Oh, wow.
But you can absolutely add tequila if you want.
If you want to get it
we
really
won't
going.
Discourage that. But these are, chill them, ice them, they're ready to drink, and I can whip up a batch for you guys right now if you
Absolutely.
like.
We'll let you do that, and we'll pass it down here.
Yeah, and while she's doing that and preparing that, a couple of different kind of whiskeys that are fall-like, the apple whiskey and the cinnamon whiskey.
Flavored.
Oh, yeah, so we have a whole new line of whiskeys that have been released this fall at Round Barn Distillery. So we have cinnamon whiskey, peach, vanilla, and apple. So they are just a fan favorite right now, and we're actually celebrating Whiskey Strings Fest today at the Round Barn. So if you aren't able to go to the game, I would definitely recommend checking out going to Round Barn for whiskey, where we will be sampling these today.
What is the festival? Can you tell us just a little bit about it?
So we're doing a Whiskey Strings Fest today at Round Barn. It'll go until 7 o'clock Eastern, $5 cover charge, and we have a bluegrass band going to be there at 3:30, and our distiller Robbie is on site today sampling these fine whiskeys.
As much as I'd like to go to the Notre Dame game,
you're audible.
Taken. Yeah.
Well, I've always just thought of everything at Round Barn being about wine, and this is really appealing to a lot of different palates.
What was that again? Sorry.
Just having the opportunity to not just get wine when you're at Round Barn.
Yeah.
This can appeal to anybody that you have at your party.
Yeah, and if you don't even like wine and you don't like spirits, no big deal. We also have our craft beers. So Kolsch is our flagship, one of our top sellers. And tonight, actually, we're going to be having Kolsch Fest at the Brewery and Public House in Baroda, where we're celebrating that flagship Kolsch.
All right. Well, shall we cheers?
Hey, cheers. Go Irish.
And go Round Barn.
Thank you. And what flavor is this again?
So you have the classic and you have the peach.
Awesome.
Wow. I mean, I can taste a little bit of the wine aspect to it, but with the lime, with the lemon, or the salt on there, it is very good, very different.
Cheers. Go Irish.
Cheers.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll be right back on ABC 57 Kickoff.
Well, for the first time since 1988, an 0-2 team is ranked in the top 25. Surprising to most, the Irish landing at 24th in the latest AP poll this week. That team back in 1988, that was the Michigan Wolverines, actually.
It was, and like Notre Dame, the Wolverines lost to two ranked teams to start the season. One of them was Miami. Then they reeled off 10 straight on their way to a Rose Bowl victory. To repeat history would be a best-case scenario. Coincidence? Not to head coach Marcus Freeman.
There's an old saying, if it happens once, it's coincidence.
Consistency, I believe, is what wins or loses games.
If it happens twice, it's a pattern.
My job is to make sure that this team is heading the right direction.
Unfortunately, the only consistent part of Notre Dame's 0-2 start is not just their lack of execution in the closing minutes of both games, but also their extreme drop-off as a defensive unit. That pattern ultimately falls on one person, head coach Marcus Freeman.
As a head coach, as a leader, it's important to wear the hat that's necessary in that moment, no matter if it's offense, defense, special teams, recruiting.
A year ago, under then defensive coordinator Al Golden, the Irish finished the season ranked 4th in the nation in scoring defense and 5th in total defense, allowing only 15 points and 307 yards per game. In just 2 games this season under new coordinator Chris Ash, the defense has given up 68 points, 827 total yards, ranked 119th in scoring defense, are tied for last in the nation with only 1 sack, and are dead last in tackles for loss with only 4.
I spend a lot of time with our defense. That's obviously where my background is. Will I spend more time there? Maybe. If that's what's necessary, I will. I'll spend more time there. This is the time that leadership shows. If you're a leader, you're built for this moment. I'm as confident in this group of young people and this group of coaches that I was before week 1. They're going to make sure that this thing goes in the right direction.
A step in the right direction starts Saturday against Purdue, a team the Irish beat 66-7 a year ago, on their way to the national championship game, exactly 1 week after losing at home to unranked NIU.
Great teams do that. They look at themselves, especially when you don't get the results you want. When you have failure, great coaches, great players, great teams look at themselves and hold themselves accountable.
For now, a first win over the Boilermakers, no matter coincidence or not, would at least bring calm to a team and fan base close to the edge.
We're 4 points away from being, 5 points away from being 2-0. So are we close? Yeah, but we're not close enough.
Well, just really interesting to hear the message from head coach Marcus Freeman this week. He is not pulling the emergency button just yet, but he said, listen, we've got to be better. We have got to be better in all phases of the game. Defense, obviously, offense, special teams. And for a guy that said one play, one life for the last couple of years, it really comes down to one game right now because they just need a win, they need momentum, and they need to do it today.
Yeah, absolutely. And becoming one of the most popular places fans can see their team's highlights, rant, go off, share your thoughts, sound off, of course, all on social media. It's a place fans can express their thoughts and opinions and talk about hot topics. Lucky for you guys, our Gen Z reporter, Talia Vaya, has been on social media all week, flagging what people are saying about Notre Dame football and telling her take on it. Hey, Talia.
Hey, yes, it was a tough loss last week, and as you know, sports fans aren't exactly the nicest when their favorite team goes 0-2, especially after a championship run just a few months ago. But you know me, I love scrolling through Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, you name it, so I caught up with what's trending online. So take a listen. The most controversial topic of the week, of course, is Notre Dame being the first team in 37 years to be 0-2 without a win. Some people agreeing, saying there aren't 25 teams better than them, and they also did not open the season with 2 high school teams. ESPN's Kirk Herbstreit also chimed in, saying he's impressed, but ultimately the majority of the football community is upset. We can't rank an 0-2 team. Hard to be impressed with 2 losses as favorites, brand bias, weak upcoming schedule. Josh Pate even noting this placement was basically a test for the college football public. My take. Personally, I think 2 of the best games I've ever seen in my life. I think their ranking is perfect. They're literally 4 points away from being 2-0, 2 top 10 teams. So I think absolutely they should still be ranked. And I think 24 was that perfect compromise, I guess you could say. However, ESPN is now giving the Irish just a 5.9% chance to make the playoffs. The most popular comment, this gif. And another stirring the pot moment, the officiating. People pointing out there should not have been a targeting call, holding issues, SEC ref bias. There was even a report that Notre Dame tried to protest the loss, but no response. My take, exactly what Coach Freeman said.
That's not the reason we lost. It's frustrating, but it doesn't matter. He's out, Don's out, next guy in, execute. That's got to be the mentality.
And then there's new defensive coordinator Chris Ash on the hot seat, facing extreme criticism, like very extreme. Fans wanting him gone. My take. He's new, he's got some wrinkles, but he's going to prove everyone wrong Saturday. And lastly, honorable mention, Florida fans wanting Freeman at Florida. This Purdue meme, that went viral. And to end on a positive note, Notre Dame's flyover went viral for being the best last weekend. Well, that's a wrap on Talia's Take this week, where the tweets never sleep and the fans never disappoint. But I'll keep scrolling so you don't have to. Until next time, Irish fans, I'm Talia Baya, reporting live from the campus of Notre Dame, ABC57 News.
Well, thank you, Talia. And today's game is actually something of a homecoming for a Purdue wide receiver, Nitro Tuggle. When we come back, a look at Nitro's journey from star player at Northwood High School in Napanee to taking on Notre Dame in the house that Rockne built.
What a catch, what a player. It's a homecoming for one Purdue Boilermaker wide receiver, Nitro Tuggle. What a stud he was at Northwood High School just down the road from Napanee.
Yeah, making headlines here in Michiana. Nitro was one of the hottest recruits in the country, but he also made headlines for a mistake that could have taken football away from him. But he's gotten a second chance back in his home state of Indiana, and he's making an impact on this new look Purdue offense.
Another long developing RPO up the middle, open again. Nitro Tuggle with his first career touchdown catch.
Purdue sophomore Nitarian Nitro Tuggle is off to the best start of his career and grabbing the attention of his coaches.
I think he's got a tremendous future for us.
But before he was catching TDs for the Boilermakers, he was dominating at Northwood High School. The South Bend Tribune and Elkhart Truth Player of the Year. Nitro was a dynamic two-way player for the Panthers, racking up more than 4,600 all-purpose yards and 65 total touchdowns his junior and senior years, helping lead Northwood to a state runner-up finish, catapulting him from small-town star to four-star prospect and earning him a scholarship to play for the Georgia Bulldogs.
Work while I wait, understand it's a business. I play for them, I make the play.
Nitro finished his freshman year in Athens with 3 catches for 34 yards, but an off-field reckless driving incident this spring got him suspended indefinitely. He entered the transfer portal and found his way back to his home state.
Just family, just, people surrounding this place, like Coach Odom. I just thought it was like a great program, great coaches. They did a lot at UNLV, so why not come back home?
Now he has a fresh start in West Lafayette.
It was a good opportunity here, to come compete and get a spot and earn it. It's not going to be easy.
Nitro has proven himself at practice, and it's paying off on game day. He has 7 catches for 123 yards and 2 touchdowns for the Boilermakers this season.
He's been much more consistent. Love the way that he's continuing to practice. He's playing well when the ball's not in his hands, blocking on the perimeter, doing some of those things that we ask those guys to do.
He's obviously physically gifted. He's strong. He can play against press, and he can get off press, and he's doing it better and better every day. And so he's a young guy that's learning the game, but we have a really bright outlook on his future.
Nitro, such a great name, right? Perfect for a speedy wide receiver. He said he actually got the nickname when he was in middle school, and he didn't really like it at first. It was something that he kind of had to get used to, but he said now he's grown to embrace it.
That's right. And Nitro isn't the only Boilermaker with local roots. Freshman running back Jerron Thomas is from Elkhart as well. He's a freshman this season. While Jerron hasn't gotten much playing time yet, he was a really good player at Concord High School, finishing with more than 2,800 yards and 40 touchdowns in his final 2 seasons. So that local connection continues to grow.
That's right. Well, and time now to bring in a man who knows a thing or two about these Boilermakers with us today. Joining us now, Purdue fans might know you more as QB1 and Colts quarterback, college football Hall of Famer. We got Mark Herman joining us now, voice, radio, color analyst for the Purdue Boilermakers on the radio.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me, and looking forward to a great game this afternoon.
Well, taking a look back, Mark, thank you so much, first of all, Mark, for joining us today. And taking a look back at your playing days from 1977 to 1980, you passed for just shy of 10,000 career yards, had 71 touchdowns, a unanimous All-American, the Big Ten's most valuable player. Many, many more accolades, including finishing 4th in the Heisman Trophy voting. So not too shabby for a resume there.
Well, yeah, I was very fortunate, had great coaching, great teammates, and we had a very pass-happy offense, so it kind of suited my skill set. So, it's crazy. I was this close to committing here and decided to go to Purdue.
Well, talk about that for 1 second, if you would.
Yeah, because Purdue had Alex Agassi in a little transition. They'd fired him, and I didn't know who the new coach at Purdue. And I'd spoken to Dan Devine on several occasions, sat right in front of him, and, we talked about a plan going forward. And then, Coach Young got hired from Arizona, came right to my house, and he had a plan as well. And I just thought my playing time opportunities at Purdue were a little better. But I, always loved Notre Dame and always thought I could play here as well. But it worked out that I went to West Lafayette.
Well, it worked out. A heck of a player and a heck of a career.
Would have been a backup to Joe Montana at that time, right?
Well, yeah, and I've got a story for that one.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, you won 1 and 2 against Notre Dame during your career. Right. What are your memories about the rivalry and playing inside that stadium that's just to your left?
Well, that was a great memory, but my freshman year, I'm starting and playing against Notre Dame, and we're doing great. We're up 24-14. Rusty Lish was the starting quarterback. He didn't do so well, so they brought in Gary Forstick in the second half. Fred Arrington, our linebacker, put one of those vicious hits, broke his collarbone, and I thought, well, who's left? Who's their third guy? And in waltzes Joe Montana. Yeah. And they ended up scoring 17 unanswered and beat us 31-24, and then went on to have a great career.
He was a third stringer.
Third stringer, so unbelievable. But no, playing in this stadium was always a treat. We came short 10-6 my sophomore year, and then my senior year I hurt my thumb and was unable to play, and I was so bummed out about that. But no, we had some great games. 79, we won down at Ross-Ade. So yeah, a lot of good battles, a lot of great memories.
Well, you get to call the game here today inside Notre Dame Stadium. This year's Boilers team definitely looks significantly improved from last year. Beyond the obvious win totals, how have you seen this team improve, especially under new head coach Barry Odom, and what do you attribute to that rapid progress?
Well, I think Barry Odom is amazing, and he did a great renovation job at UNLV. took them to a couple bowl games, and they had a bad football tradition. So he's used to acquiring a new roster. We have 80 new players, so it's pretty crazy. But there's just a sense of discipline, accountability. Just do your job, knowing what's expected of you. And I don't know the results today, but I think Barry's he's setting the foundation. And as soon as he starts getting his players and getting his system established. But, a 2-1 start, we'll take that, but we know we have a big challenge today.
For sure. Defensively, the team is still a work in progress, giving up 460 yards of total offense last week to USC, but really hung in that game quite a bit. Do you feel like there's sort of a light at the end of the tunnel and see the bigger picture here for some of the strengths?
Yeah, I mean, there was no quit in the team, and, you take away a couple of the turnovers in the red zone, that's a close game. So they've got to clean that up. But I just think there are signs that this is going to be a competitive team down the road and be able to compete in the Big Ten Conference. It was a goose egg last year, so hopefully get some wins on the board and get this thing turned around.
Well, final question for you. Ryan Brown's been putting up some numbers. What are you expecting out there today in terms of how competitive Purdue is going to be against Notre Dame and the steps they've taken forward with Odom? What do you expect from Purdue today, and what do they have to do to get the upset at Notre Dame Stadium?
Well, Ryan has to play very well, and he's got to limit those turnovers. Those are killers, and especially when you're in the red area and you take points off the board. But I think pass protection's a key. He was under duress last week against the Trojans, so if he can get a little time, I love this set of receivers. Nitro Tuggle, as you mentioned, Michael Jackson III, Armand Branch. So these are guys that can make plays, but he's got to have protection, and he's got to make wise decisions. If it's not there, tuck it away and run, because he can run the football very well.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your insight.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Incredible to have you. Hall of Famer right here, folks. We appreciate it.
We'll be right back here on ABC 57 Kickoff with your game day forecast.
We are live on Eddy Street. It is sunny. The crowds are out. There's Irish music playing, Rebel tunes. I feel like I'm back in the homeland right now. But most importantly, the weather is beautiful. And that's the big thing we're going to be noticing today here across pretty much all of Michiana, but here in South Bend for the game and your tailgate. Now let's talk about your game day forecast. Kickoff, 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. Notre Dame against Purdue. Both these teams, plenty of experiences playing in the rain so far this season. But I don't think we're going to be seeing rain, at least for the first half of the game. Kickoff, mostly cloudy, high of 82 degrees here, so also feeling a little bit above average considering we're almost at the tail end of September and still in the 80s. Now, how does your game time forecast look? Well, 3 p.m., 82, mostly cloudy, a little bit of sun, but then you are looking at things getting a little bit rainier around 6 to 9 p.m., so the second half of the game and afterwards, your commute home might be a little bit trickier, just something to keep in mind. But for now, it is sunny, spirits are good, and we're looking for an Irish win here at Eddy Street. Reporting live from Eddy Street, I'm meteorologist Emma Toomey, ABC 57 Kickoff.
Well, you talk about good spirits. We got some good spirits right here from Round Barn Winery, wrapping things up today with our X Factors and our Hall of Famer right here, Purdue quarterback, radio color analyst Mark Herman joining us for the end here. But let's start us off, Talia. Who is your X Factor for today's game?
I have safety Tay Johnson with Adon Schuler out because the targeting. I think he's going to step in, and he was the second lead tackler last game, so I think this is his moment to shine.
All week long, we've been talking about the defense. He's not going to step out on the field, but his guys will. Chris Ash, for me, is the X factor.
Crazy.
Because if the defense does not play well and they get upset at home again, watch out.
That is a bold prediction, my friend. I was on track with you, Talia, as Tay Johnson, but to pivot on that, I'm taking Drake Bowen. I think he is just showing the leadership that he has. He is a captain on this defense, and this linebacking crew, these edge rushers, they need to get that pass rush to put some pressure on your guy.
Yeah, as a former quarterback, I've got to go with Ryan Brown today. He's got to be awfully good today. Limit the mistakes, try to get some big plays. I know he's going to face a lot of man coverage and a heavy rush, so he's got to sort through that, keep the chains moving.
Number 15.
Yes.
We know another number 15 who played a while ago for Purdue, so maybe he's getting some of those mojo moments from him.
Yeah. Absolutely. Our final predictions for us today. Talia, what do you got? What do you think the Irish get it done today?
I got 44-13 13. I think they're out for vengeance. They're going to play aggressive, and they said even violent. So expect a high-scoring blowout game from the offense. Personally, that's what I think.
Well, going into this morning, I believe the spread was still 26.5 points. I've got the under, but because last week's pick went so well for me, I'm keeping it how it was last week, 35-10 Notre Dame. I think the defense makes some stops finally. They get their playmaker back in the second half after he sits out because of the targeting call. I think Notre Dame figures it out today and gets in the win column.
Well, we've all thought that Notre Dame was going to win the first 2 games of this season. Are we crazy for thinking Notre Dame is going to win today? I think they right the ship. They could go off on offense. This is a good opportunity for this team. I think it's really a good opportunity for the defense. They have a chance against that run game for Purdue. Is still sort of developing, getting itself together. So I think we're going to see some pressure on the quarterback. I think they're going to shut down that run game. And then Ryan Brown's going to get put to the test. The secondary a little banged up for Notre Dame, so we'll see if they can step it up. But I'm going to take the Irish in this one, 38-13. Mark, I don't know, as a radio guy, if you're allowed to give your full prediction, but give us what you can.
Well, a lot of guys' first trip to Notre Dame Stadium. This will be a tough environment for them, but, if the Purdue can get the running game going, they have a quality back in Devin Maccabee to take a little pressure off Ryan Brown. I think keep it close maybe for a little while, but the Irish have too much on the line. So, I think a couple score difference will be the end. So.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for joining us here on ABC 57 Kickoff. Apparently, we have a little fan that's crawled into the...
We have a baby.
Irish fan.
He's loose. He's loose, just like the offense today, we hope, for Notre Dame. Thanks so much for joining us here on ABC 57 Kickoff. Thanks to our sponsors as well for making it happen. And cheers.
Cheers, guys. Happy game day.
Thank you for watching ABC 57 Kickoff. Go Irish.